Hey Taurus, this is the Rockstar Coach. Thank you for coming to my channel. I'm going to shuffle cards while I'm making some announcements. I have several things to tell you. First of all, thank you so much to all of those who have liked, shared, and subscribed to my channel. I have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I am so close. So if you haven't done that yet, I would love for you to. Of course, if it feels aligned with you and you get something out of the readings or the classes that I also put on. And speaking of classes, I recently manifested a free vacation to the beach, which was why I was out for a week or so. And part of how I did that was a manifestation grid. Oh my goodness, I just see that I put some cards from the last reading in the wrong stack. So look at that. Excuse me. Squirrel. Anyway, sorry, Taurus. I have a video called Crystal Grid for Manifestation. And that is free. It is on my channel. If crystals or crystal grids or manifestation interests you, go check that out. Lastly, I wanted to highlight something that I offer for female entrepreneurs. I have something called the Wisdom Circle. It is a monthly container, somewhat like a mastermind of sorts, for female entrepreneurs. Again, it is monthly. You do not have to commit to any more than a month, but you can stay as long as you want. And if you are a female entrepreneur, it does not cost you anything to just check it out. Go to my website, or if you comment below Wisdom Circle or Wisdom, I will send you the link. I will be sure to respond to that and send you the link for that so that you can get more info. And if you want to just have a quick chat with me to see if that is something that would work for you, then you can let me know that too, and I can send you the link for the free chat. All right. I think that's all the announcements. So let's get into your career and finance reading, Taurus. This is for the middle of September through the middle of October. Yes, it is almost October. 2025 is upon us. Today I'm using the Soul's Journey lesson cards, the Energy Oracle cards, and as always, the Power of Surrender cards to end the reading. So Taurus, let's see what Spirit has for you in the way of career and finances. So first off, you got appreciation. There's two things that are coming through. The very first thing that comes through is be grateful for what you have now, Taurus. How are we going to get more of what we want if we're not grateful for what we already have? Appreciate what you already have. Secondarily, I'm seeing some accolades come in. Some accolades come in for you, Taurus. Some of you are going to be getting that raise that you've been wanting, that position, that advancement, that those initials, by your name. You're going to be getting that. Okay, this is random. I just got, oh, okay. This is very specific, okay? And this is for probably one person. I just got, you are going to receive the Ms. in front of your name, the MS. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because there's a couple of things that are coming in for that. And I want to leave that where that resonates for the person and not want you to understand that on your own. And you will. If that's for you, you know exactly what I'm saying. Okay. So there are going to be some of you that get that, doctorate, that you get that certification that you are looking for, that you've taken the class, you've graduated, right? Those credentials. Also, it's a feeling of like receiving an award. Those accolades are also like an award. So I see some of you, I'm seeing like a crystal plaque type award with your name on it. I'm seeing Charles. Charles, if that's you, congratulations. Yeah, Charles. Great. Also, that does mean those things can equal money, right? They don't always, but they can equal money. Either you now have the opportunity to apply for a different job. You now are able to practice in your career. You're able to offer a different service. Maybe with that certification or with um, that class under your belt, you can now charge more money, or your company will automatically give you the pay increase based on you've accomplished this class or this um, like, excuse me, I'm being distracted here, and I'm trying to, they're really coming at me with a couple of things right now, so I'm just going to ground my energy really quickly and ask that they send one thing at a time, please. Thank you. Okay. So going back, it's a matter of like, if these different levels, like, for instance, hairstylists, you take a certain number of classes and you learn a certain, skill, and then you get bumped up to this pay level. You take more, you get bumped up again, that kind of thing. So some of you may be hairstylists or going to cosmetology school, something like that, and that really resonates with you. I'm looking at this appreciation card too as I move on to this other deck, and then we may come back to that one. I'm seeing, don't forget to stop and smell the roses. I mean, that's what appreciation is, right? So again, for you, Taurus, as it pertains to you being appreciative, don't forget to stop and smell the roses along the way, because the climb can be arduous sometimes. When we are working toward a certain goal, whether that be, a certain amount of money, oh my goodness, or an advancement of some sort in our career, or growth of our business, expansion, it can be a long road. It can be, honestly, it can be difficult, right? There can be a lot of roadblocks. There can be a lot of hoops that you have to jump through and hurdles to jump over. Remember to celebrate the small wins. Remember to look around you. Remember to look at how far you've come. It's easy for us, Taurus, to get into the habit, the practice of always looking forward of what we don't have yet, what we haven't accomplished. Even if it's not in a lack or scarcity sort of way, we're just always on to the next thing. Sometimes it's good to look back and give ourselves a pat on the back and say, wow, look at where I was a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. Look at what I wanted to do when I was in college. What was my dream when I was a child? Look at me now. Look where I am now. Look at all that I've accomplished. Look at all that I have. Look at who I am. So don't forget to give yourself that appreciation as well. So I laughed because as I was talking about that, this card flipped out, gratitude. I'm not even going to go into this. This is just more confirmation. They want you to hear this. They want you to appreciate. They want you to give gratitude. Give thanks. Be grateful. Not only for what you have and who you are and what you've accomplished and done, but give gratitude to others. Who has helped you along your way? Maybe you feel like you're being called. If this resonates, let me know. To give an award to someone else or give a pat on the back of some sort to someone else. Maybe this is taking someone in your office out to lunch to say thank you for help on the project. Maybe this is honoring someone that you work with some sort of gift or lunch or something like that when they lost an account, but they worked really hard on it. Maybe they didn't get the business, but they put together a fantastic proposal and their pitch was great. And you just want to say, good job. We don't know how a loss could be affecting someone else. And if they did a great job, maybe that's what you're being called to do, is to honor them for the win of what they did do. And freedom. I'm going to read this card. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. This topic of free will has come up in at least one other reading, if not more so far. There are no right or wrong choices across the board because everybody's right and wrong is a little bit different. There are shades of gray, and we have free will. Taurus, you can make whatever choice, whatever decision you feel is best for you. No card or tarot reading or oracle reading. There is no reader or coach that gets to tell you exactly what you should do. And if you don't do it, this is what's going to happen. Because guess what? When you make a choice, everything around that decision shifts, and it shifts the energy. You have the ability, the freedom to make your own choices. Now, can you be guided to what the highest and best decision for you to make in this moment, in this energy is? Of course. But just because I say it, just because the card says it, doesn't mean you have to do it. It also doesn't mean that your desires won't be fulfilled if you don't do that. It means that you're taking a different path. I'm feeling drawn to another card. Thank you. And then another from this guy. Spirit, messages for Taurus for career and finances, please. Goddess of the Moon. And failure. Wow. Interesting that failure card came out right under the gratitude card, that the message was, even if they lost the account. Goddess of the moon. We're going to start there. Let me tap into this energy for you, Taurus. This is feminine energy, okay? And in the Pisces reading, there was a lot of messages around the feminine energy. So if that's something you want to hear about, or if you have some Pisces in your chart, you may want to check that out. This goddess of the moon, I'm feeling, it's not only a feminine energy, but it's like seeing things beyond the obvious. So as it pertains to career and finance, it's about being, and what this feminine energy is it's like opening your mind and kind of asking the question to the universe, okay, what do I need to see here? Some of you you're in the midst of a negotiation, I'm seeing. And for some of you, this is in your current business. For some of you, this is a negotiation to get out of your business, to sell your business. And for others of you, this is a negotiation of starting a business, like gaining investors or being an investor. Okay. So there's 3 categories here. For those of you, the biggest category is you're negotiating something in your business. So it's either a business deal, it's a sale, it's an offer, those types of things that you would negotiate on a daily basis. For some too, it's negotiating a position, right? A price, a salary type of thing, right? Compensation of some sort. And this energy is, okay, in negotiation, let's look at things that may not be so obvious. What does this person have? On the other side of it, what value that maybe we're not actually talking about do we provide that we can highlight to clinch this deal? What term could we put in here in this deal that would make this a no-brainer? How can we come up with a win-win here? So this is really, when it comes to negotiation, it's not a pushing, not being pushy, or like dogmatic. It really is kind of taking a step back and being in that feminine energy. And again, there's more about that in some detail in the Pisces reading, I believe it was. This is kind of looking to the stars in a way, meaning open yourself up to some mystical guidance, some divine guidance, mystical wisdom on what that secret sauce is, what that missing piece is in that negotiation to really clinch the deal. Okay. All right, that feels good. Failure, we touched on a bit, but this is really, there is no failure. There is no failure. There is always something to learn. You might not reach the goal or accomplish the exact thing or make the sale to the exact person, but what you learn from that is going to, if you allow yourself to learn, Taurus, it will help you that much more the next time around. And because of that, you're going to be even more successful the next time, because you are going to understand what happened the last time and how you could have done things differently. And that's invaluable information. And this is perfect because this goes right back to that Goddess of the Moon card, that balance. So you've got all of the practical tools. You have all of the practical information, all of those details. You've got all of those practical details. What you need to be looking at now is that, like, there's a card in the Moonology deck that is something like balance, practicality, and spirituality. I think it goes the other way around, but that's this. It's looking outside of what comes naturally to you, the obvious, what you know to be true in your career, in your line of work, in your office, in, whatever it is, and looking outside of that and balancing that, like, almost unreasonable possibility with the practical possibility, or really playing with the what if, right? This is playing with the what if. What if we did this? This is something that's never been done before. It's never, like, why would we give them this much money back? Why would we give them this much service? Why would we promise this for this price? Like, can we really be successful doing it that way? And that's just an example, but balance is very important because you are not only appealing to people's practical side and business side, but whether they like to admit it or not, you're also speaking to their emotional side. The hardest of people, being presented something in a way that hits them, will shift a conversation. It will shift an outcome. It will shift the way a negotiation is handled or how it concludes. And if you are listening to your gut, something outside of you, for that divine wisdom, that mystical wisdom, and something comes to you that you think, I have no idea why I feel like I need to bring a bicycle, a brand new bicycle, to this office when I go to this meeting. I have no idea. I'm going to leave it in my car because it looks weird. Why would I bring a brand new bicycle to this meeting? I have no idea. And then you get there and they're having a toy drive or whatever. And you say to yourself and to the person you're meeting, I am blown away. I am so excited that you're having this toy drive. I happen to have a brand new bicycle in my car, and I would like to donate it. And what you may not know is this person that you're meeting with grew up very poorly, and a bicycle to them has real significance, has real meaning, real depth of character. Because on the outside, they're hard because they had to work very hard. They came from nothing and it hardened them. But by you bringing in that bicycle that embodies so much for them, it could turn them. And I know that's a very specific analogy and example, but that is the kind of impact that you can have when you allow yourself in business, in career, in financial situations to listen to your gut, to allow room for that. Because it's not all just practical information that will get you where you want to go. You have help from the other realms. And the fact that you're here, I know that you believe that on some level. Taurus, this is your call to tap into that even more. You know, I'm being drawn also back to that Goddess of the Moon card, and they said, what do moons represent? And then I looked at the card, and I can truly see all of the different phases of the moon. The beautiful thing is that the moon and the moon phases represent different energies. So like where new moons represent an energy of birthing new things, right? Launching programs, presenting offers. A full moon is about completion. So, and all of the moon phases in between have their different energies. So, understanding that there are cycles in business, there are cycles in your career, there are cycles in your finances. The wealthiest of wealthy have lost money. The difference between wealthy and poor is that when the wealthy lose money, they don't fear because they've made it before and they know how to make it again. When the poor person loses money, they live in fear. They live in lack and scarcity, and they fear for their lives and the lives of their family. So beautiful of what came through just as I was shuffling this deck for you. Because we got surrender to prayer, Taurus. Surrender to prayer. Take time to ask for guidance. Know that help is available to you, and all you have to do is ask. I like to say, and this is for me, prayer is the asking, meditation is the listening for the answers. If that resonates for you, just type that in the comments. Prayer is for asking, meditation is for listening, something like that. Okay. Beautiful. Wow, Taurus. This reading's probably going longer than the others. It's so good. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. The ones that say you have to be practical. There's no room for mysticism. There's no room for religion. There's no room for spirituality. There's no room for rest. There's no room for softness. Surrender those outdated beliefs about yourself. You are capable. You can do it. You can shift, and you will accomplish it. Surrender to effortlessness. You don't have to pound the pavement so hard. You don't have to live in fear if you don't push, push, push. Surrender to effortlessness. Does not have to be as difficult as you may think. And surrender to trust. I mean, there's no better way to end this reading for you, Taurus. These readings have been very um, spiritual in nature rather than practical in nature, all of them so far. And obviously, this is a theme for the collective right now. And I'm just being shown all these three cards that came out from the Power of Surrender deck are yellow. The one that stands out, which it's not that it's better than the rest, it's just highlighted. All of these come down to trust. When you trust yourself, when you trust your guidance, and you can't trust your guidance unless you trust yourself, unless you trust that what you're hearing is true, that what you feel is true, that what you just somehow know is true. You must believe that first in order to then trust the guidance that you are receiving. If you trust yourself and you have tuned in to this reading specifically for an answer, and you heard something that answered your question, then trust that that answer is for you. We're being called as the world awakens, Taurus, to lead more from our inner self than our outer self. When we do that, we lead the way, we shine a light. And I promise you, when you do that, everything that you desire, and your desires may change as you shift your perspective, I promise you, those desires, whether they shift or not, they will come to you when you start from an inner perspective. I hope that you found your answer today, Taurus. Thank you again for all your support. I can't do it without you, wouldn't want to do it without you, and I love, love, love being able to do it with you. So until next time, take care.